Well, hello there, everybody. I'm in my post-run outfit. I just finished 2 weeks in a row of 20 plus miles in a week, which is fantastic. Haven't done that in quite a bit. It's going to be a shorter rambling today, so make sure you click on the video for the deep dive from the sermon that on Acts 17 that David and I did. I think it's pretty neat what content that we covered there. But anyhow, it's going to be a shorter rambling because I forgot that I hadn't done my rambling because I was pretty busy this morning between just helping unpack some stuff for food pantry stuff here. I had a 9 o'clock meeting with someone, and then I also was, I went for a noon run with someone, but then sermon preparation, finishing slides for that, as well as making calls because I'm now going to be evidently coaching my daughter's soccer team, and the irony is that it's an 8U soccer team, and that was about the last time that I played soccer, was whenever I was 8 years old. So, I mean, I did play in a 3-on-3 indoor tournament in high school, one 3-on-3 tournament. Let's see, I think it was like Ryan Franks, Tyler Kellogg, Andy Barris and me. It might have been David Schrock instead of Tyler or Ryan. But anyhow, I was the least qualified by far of that group, and by far I mean I wasn't qualified. I had one neat little save I remember where someone had there's no goalies on indoor 3-on-3 soccer, and at least in that tournament or how we played it. And someone kicked it, and I remember I ran by it, and I kind of jumped over it, caught my heel on the ball, rolled it out. It's super cool in the moment. At least in my brain, it looked like a sweet, awesome moment. But anyhow, I look forward to coaching my daughter in soccer. 8U soccer is mostly about trying to teach kids this is a soccer ball, this is a soccer net. This is offense, this is defense, and have fun. The goal is that they won't be just swarming the ball. That will be my number one goal, is to teach kids to space. We'll see how well that goes. Anyhow, youth coaching is something that I have not done youth coaching in a long time. I've done junior high and high school, and so I look forward to it. It's something that not a lot of people do. More people need to do. It's a valuable to give back. I think a lot of folks should coach youth sports and should ref youth sports before they are the loud fan during youth sports. Just learning how to remember what it is to be a kid, and also how difficult it is. But I had a good run today. Talked a lot about youth basketball with the guy I ran with Bennett's basketball coach. And it's just really, I'm really thankful for all the coaches that Bennett and Gracie have had. Lydia hasn't really had any coaches yet, though. I mean, I guess she had some t-ball coaches. And all my kids have had coaches that have been very encouraging, supportive, coaches that are there for the kids as kids, and so that's been really special. But just it's interesting talking about kids' potentials and their future, and what positions you see them playing, and I just think it's so vital that we as adults encourage kids. And one kid that I had a chance to encourage since he was a youth was Caden Foglesong, who there's a really neat article on Monmouth's track and field page. He's shooting to try to break the longest standing record outside of the shuttle hurdle relay there at Monmouth College. He's going to hope to shoot down the decathlon record, and it's a neat little breakdown there. For people that don't know what the decathlon is, it's 10 different track and field events, and each event is scored based upon how fast you complete the event, or how far you jump or throw, or how high you vault or jump. And it's actually a very simple scoring system whenever you think about it, where just for creativity's sake, for example's sake, 1,000 points in an event would be how much a world-class completion in that event would be. And so in the 1500, which is the last event, if you were to run a 3:55, let's just say, or a 4-minute flat, 4 flat, that would be 1,000 points. And so shot put, if you were to throw 19 meters, that'd be 1,000 points. And so over 10 events, you're scoring each of those events. And so you might never win an individual event in the decathlon, but you will get the highest point total at the end of the event. My wife was a heptathlon and pentathlon competitor in college, and so I was able to get a lot of the strategy, or at least watching her do that. And so it's really interesting. So people throw if you're a great thrower, you're going to score more points than other people, but you got to really have an outstanding throw to put a large gap there versus someone who is an elite hurdler, or if you're an elite high jumper, like that will put more points between you and the next person. Though Brittany would usually put the most points on other people in the shot put. She was a very competent hurdler. Her long jump, she'd usually get a large amount of points over people, and she was a really good high jumper, which was another way to get points on people. And she was she's good at everything, obviously, while you do the pent and the hep. And so she was 2-time national champion in AIA, and so the goal, I think, for every multi is to score enough points in all of the events leading up to the final event, which is for Brittany in the hep and the pent, it's an 800, or in the men's hep, it's a 1,000 indoor, and then in the deck outdoor, it's a 1,500. I think everyone that I've known, their goal is to have scored enough points that they don't have to go all out in that final event. Because your legs are just dead, you're tired, you're competing all those events in 2 days. And Brittany had to do a pretty insane 800 one year in order to win, and she did, and it was in the Alabama heat, and so that was pretty impressive. But anyhow, all that goes just to the standpoint of coaching. It does a lot for people, and something that was pointed out repeatedly growing up, and is just 5 positive to 1 negative thing. And so I want to just challenge anyone who watches or listens to this video to make sure that you speak life into other people. Don't think that you have to say 5 flowery things, or just be careful that you're not only speaking negative to people, that you're doing things to build them up. In fact, the other night we were at a Lenten supper, and I was sitting with all the kids, my daughters and their friends, and the conversation came up about just things that people hear on the playground and at school, and how there's some kids who are just always mean and bullying, and I just pointed out that Paul in Ephesians 4 says that let no unwholesome talk come out of your mouth, but only that which is good for the edification and the building up of others. And so you don't have to only compliment people. Like, there are things that need to be confronted, but are you actually building that person up in how you confront what they're doing? Oftentimes as coaches, we have to correct someone because they're doing something wrong. In high jump or long jump, someone does something wrong. If they don't have the right steps, like, it doesn't sound very nice, but if they're doing something wrong, they're not able to complete the event properly. But like, you build them up, like you show them the steps, and you encourage them, you give them the empowerment to be able to complete what they're going to do. And so that's overall just what you got to do. This is going to be Palm Sunday, and I will be preaching this Sunday, and it's been interesting. Just when you study the triumphal entry of Jesus, it really makes me think about how frequently we have put Jesus in a box, and how in the retelling of that story, how often do we simply just think of it as a cute story with palm branches that we're waving around, and we become almost exactly like the folks who welcome Jesus, where we're wanting the high emotions and the big emotions, or the victory and the strength from Jesus, but we're not wanting the Messiah that he actually is. And so yeah, those are my ramblings, my thoughts. I know it's the March Madness going on, and Michigan State made it to the Sweet 16. They're playing tonight, so by the time many people watch or listen to this, the game will be over, and hopefully Michigan State wins. It's green out day for the Maumee schools, and so I wore my Michigan State shirt just as my support there. Don't spend so much time on March Madness that you lose out on the beauty of getting to speak life into the people around you. It might be worth just looking at the box score and spending time with people rather than having that screen on the whole time. Alrighty, everybody. Have a good day, and hopefully you enjoyed this 12-minute on the dot rambling.